There is, in my service, a half-wolven warrior by the name of Blythe. I would have thee join him in searching for the hidden treasure of Nokron, the Eternal City.
Alright, what you're getting in this video is some very sleepy, late night, one take post commentary. Just because I fought Radahn earlier, and I just wanted to get this quest line and that fight up on YouTube. I know I have one friend, at least, that was wanting to see that fight, so this may be a little sloppy. This is just a montage of this quest line right now.
Apologies, mate.
Which is probably unnecessary, but
I can see bloody Nokron right above me, but I'm absolutely stumped. I've tried all the gateways, to no avail.
that guy was picking on me.
It's time to ask Celibus.
Yeah, if I ever need to look back at the beginning parts of this quest line, I don't know if it'll be relevant later, but thought it might be a good idea to have it documented.
The task was left to you and the mongrel, was it not? Not only are you
I think this guy actually was part of this quest line and then also sends you on another quest line, which I don't think that I've continued on yet. This game is overwhelmingly amazing and has a incomprehensible amount of content that, man, it is not healthy for a person who doesn't have a ton of free time. It's genuinely not healthy. I think I've averaged probably 4 hours of sleep in the times that I go hardcore on Elden Ring. Sometimes I have to go a few days without playing just to catch up on sleep and get my life back in order, but when you only have like late nights to play and you have something as good as Elden Ring, it's tough to find a good balance.
Would resume their movement, and so too would Ranni's destiny.
So Ranni's fate is kept in stasis by Starscourge Radahn.
Alright, so everything's leading up to Radahn here, and I was getting excited because I've already had get my revenge right there, nice. I had 1 or 2 friends ask me if I'd fought him, so I knew he was a big deal, or the next main boss that I wanted to take on at least. So I was getting excited at this point as things were leading towards him.
That reminds me of something I heard. There's a festival being held at the castle on the southern edge of the Caelid Wilds, east of Limgrave. It's a festival of combat. And I heard that you can fight Radahn himself. He who's once called the strongest of all the demigods.
Still picking on me.
Maybe it's just a coincidence, but I think it's worth investigating. I'll be on my way to this festival of Radahn then.
Okay, I added this in. Just watch what happens. I remember this, even though this was about a week ago. I remember this well. Alright, so I fight him, get over to this edge, and like a lot of the dragons have done, he disappears. No big deal. I'll go back to where he spawned. He'll be there. He won't be reset. It's all good, right? Yes, exactly what happened. I've seen it with, multiple other dragons. And, I think I get real dumb. Die, and then this is just a couple minutes later. Fighting him again. Still being dumb. Same kind of thing happens. Same area over here by the cliff. disappears. Okay, crap, gotta reset it again. Nope, not there. Okay, so I know now because I messaged some of my friends and was like, well, I had my first real like glitched out moment where I straight up lost some content, because at this point I'm thinking this, this is screwed up. Like he disappeared and he is not supposed to. I think right after this I quit the game, I warped away, came back, I did everything I could think to do. This is me being confused and a little bummed out because I thought I'd lost out on that fight. I thought he was just gone and I'd screwed it up somehow. But yeah, I know now that apparently that's scripted. It's supposed to happen. But it happened right after he reset, basically the same place for me. And so I thought for sure that it was a glitch. And now I'm at Redman Castle. This is still gameplay from like a week ago. I had actually put about 20 to 30 hours in between this right here and when I actually, the next clip when I'm going to fight Radahn. I explored Caelid thoroughly and a little bit of the Altus Plateau that I hadn't been to, like the Shaded Castle, I think, which is really fun. I probably have 10 or more hours of footage that I've got to sift through. I just pulled out anything that was related to Blade or Radahn and put it together leading up to this fight. I really enjoy fighting these lion things. Looks like right here I'm trying to be smart and cheese him because I'm probably thinking, I wonder if they both respawn or if only one. I better be careful, and by being careful it looks like I was actually screwing up more there. Let's see what happens. I'm assuming I kill him, but honestly I don't remember, don't know. That rot attack, that dragon rot attack is so nice. So nice for being cheesy. And I'm pretty sure, I've done some testing, and I'm pretty sure that poison and rot stack. Actually used it on one of the giant bears in a cave recently, and I'm pretty sure that does work. There's so many options. There's so many viable options for combat, and I'm sure that I don't know about most of them still, but it really is insane.
Are you good and prepared, young chum? The festival begins. Before we begin, allow me to paint you the full picture. General Radahn is cursed ever to wander. Eaten from the inside by Melania's scarlet rot, his wits are long gone.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this guy was not what I was expecting.
Now he gathers the corpses of former friends and foes alike, gorging on them like a dog.
Don't know exactly what I was expecting, but it wasn't him.
Howling at the sky. But now, we must make merry.
O gathering of champions, the revels begin.
I assume I would have found Alexander here as well if I wouldn't have jumped on his head, made him angry, and then killed him.
You will find the field of battle past the church ahead. A upon the shore under the fort. General Radahn is there, even now, divested of his wits, devouring corpses, and howling at the sky.
This whole thing was really cool. I was kind of expecting a gladiator type thing, though. Honestly, I was thinking about the arena in Elder Scrolls Oblivion, where you go in and there's like multiple like levels of foes that you have to face. I was expecting to have to fight multiple rounds with different combatants in each one until I got to the final boss. I wasn't expecting it to go straight to Radahn. So that was a little bit of a surprise. I'm gonna only cut out like stuff like right here where I kind of search around in this area for a while. Even, you know, there's not really much to find here. So yeah, spoiler alert, it takes me more than once. But I'm gonna leave all the attempts in and either just let you watch, or it'll probably be interesting. I always like watching the gameplay back because I see things that I just didn't have the wherewithal in the kind of chaos of the fight to notice about, you know, the fight or the boss or whatever. And this is definitely a chaotic, overwhelming kind of fight, so I'm a little bit excited to see it. You know, you gotta check the corners, gotta check the sides. I'm still, even at this point right here, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna like warp to the arena over there or whatever, and I'm gonna have to fight, you know, whoever first, and then I'll go through a series of opponents until I get to Radahn. That's what I'm thinking right here. Think about right here, I'm having split thoughts. I'm like, this better not be some cheesy like bullshit where I'm gonna have to just dodge stuff and find some gimmick. But I didn't think that was the case, just because of how excited my friends, a couple of my friends had been to hear my thoughts on this. So I assumed it was gonna be a real fight, and now I'm thinking, oh, you know what? I'm just realizing that I never looked at those. Those might actually be useful in this fight. But I'm kind of overwhelmed at this point. I remember, because I have those summons on the ground. Obviously, he's shooting these things at you, and I'm doing a terrible job at dodging them. We have all these summons on the ground, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't want any of those, but also, like, maybe I'm supposed to. Like, maybe this is an awesome, big, like, battle where I call up a bunch of phantoms and, you know, it's like I'm missing out on some epic, you know, experience here. And so I'm having all these thoughts while also trying to stay alive. So, yeah, it doesn't go well. Doesn't go well for me the first time. And I was completely overwhelmed by just way too many thoughts and ideas and possibilities and fear and anxiety all at the same time. Also didn't think at all to try my horse the first time. Pretty sure I did right here. Yeah, I was thinking the second time. I remember thinking, why did I not try the horse the first time? But yeah, this is too much going on. Oh, also, this is the point right here where I realized that I came in to this place with 78,000 souls, and then immediately tried to say I didn't care about it, but it was yet another stressor now in the back of my mind that I've got all this going on. So I made a decision after that first death that I just wasn't going to worry about anything in this arena, because if there was something that was going to help me, whether it was summons or an item, I wanted to at least try it without it. So I was committed at this point to just not exploring or, you know, even thinking about pulling up summons to see what happened, and just trying to fight him. The reason that I was saying that he's not what I was expecting is because there was nothing about this guy once I got up to him. After that initial like chaos, there's nothing about this guy that was intimidating, because he's riding this undersized horse thing, or I don't even know what's going on there really, but I thought it was comical. I had anytime that I caught a glimpse and remembered that he has this little horse under him, I had to make myself not laugh. It was, yeah, I found it really funny. I still do, looking at it now. I still don't know what's going on here with his stubby legs and riding this little miniature pony compared to his size, but it looks like a Crash Bandicoot boss to me. But he's cool, for sure. Just funny looking. Okay, I think I was actually pretty intimidated about this point though. So I'm a little intimidated now just watching it back. Oh my god, he just stomps that tiny horse into the ground when he gets rid of it. That is amazing. So that's the kind of stuff that I was too caught up in the moment to realize what was going on, but that was a really dope animation right there when he propelled all around with his purple magics. Not too bad though. That wasn't bad. That wasn't a bad second attempt. Alright, looks like I went AFK here, so I'm going to fast forward it. Alright, making some changes here. I'm going to pause it. I'm level 85. There's my stats if you want to see them. Kind of have things spread around everywhere, but I guess at this point I'm pretty much like quality faith build. And Vigor's 34, which I think is obviously helping me to tank through some stuff that otherwise I'm not skilled enough to survive here. So I've pretty much cleared Caelid Liurnia, Limgrave, of course, and a good chunk of Altus Plateau at this point. This is just my second main boss. I've fought Godric, and then I've done a lot of exploring. That's pretty much all I've done, and I have many hours in the game at this point. But so yeah, I'm compared to the people who you know, have told me how difficult he was. I'm probably a little over leveled. And then also, if I'm not mistaken, I think one of my friends told me that he got nerfed a decent amount, so I don't know about that pre-patch Radahn. Still pretty brutal though. Looks like I went back to my workhorse setup here, which is just my dagger. And even if a dagger, hey, that was Patches. I just saw Patches as a summon. Man, now I'm really curious. I wonder if there's like some alternative type of fight. I wonder if you get a bunch of those summons up, if it changes the fight in some significant way. I've been thinking about rolling a second character and going ahead and trying some of the same things I've already done on a second character, just in a different way. Be a little more liberal with my, you know, using things like the ashes for summons. I haven't done any of that, and I'm still pretty much going fully blind. Any little tidbits of info I know is from talking to friends. I'm okay with that, but they're all, you know, in my camp of like being careful about spoilers, so. I think I dodged that comet the first time, and I'm pretty sure I get hit by it like every time after that. I've tried the Ash of War out that he seems to be using a super version of the... I can't remember what it's called. Maybe... that one was a bummer. I can't remember what it's called, but you dip your weapon into the ground, pull it out, it's got rocks all over it, increases your damage a little bit. It's pretty cool, and it increases your damage. I want to say it was like... I think I did some quick testing, and it was a pretty standard buff of like maybe 15% damage, but it takes away your weapon buff that you have on, so unless there's something that I haven't found out about it, it doesn't seem to be worth using if you have enough, you know, stats to use weapon buffs. I spend entirely too much time testing stuff that I could just look up online, but I have fun doing it. But there's people that are so much smarter than me that, you know, quickly put these comprehensive lists together, and I know that's all out there, but can't help it, man. It's just part of it for me. It's like, I bet I have 10 hours of game time just testing out different, like, Ashes of War and weapons and certain buffs, and on, I use, I'm still playing. Oh, okay. That's when I decided I was getting rid of those souls, because I was tired of thinking about them. I was tired of holding that in my head along with everything else I was thinking about this fight. Alright, I'm going to fast forward again. I actually had to go back and talk to the dude who asks you if you're ready to do this again. I thought that was interesting. After I quit out, it put me back at this teleporter, but then I warped away to spin the souls, and then had to like do all that intro over again, including the cutscene. I thought that was kind of interesting. this is kind of neat because I have no idea which fight that I'm gonna kill him on. I have a guess at how many times it took me, but I also could be wrong. I don't trust anyone, including myself, at like guessing how many times it takes you on a boss that takes you more than like maybe 3. Any boss that takes you more than 3 tries, I think your brain starts like not counting your bad attempts. And so it's real easy to go like, yeah, it took me maybe like 5 or 6 tries when it actually took you, 9 or 10. Black Flame and Dagger though, man, that's where it's at. I enjoy this because it adds an extra layer of combat, meaning it's not just dodge and hit. You have to get that buff in, and in case you haven't used Black Flame, the little mechanic of it is as long as you use it after an action, and that can be a sword swing, it can be a roll. I like to use it when I'm jumping. If you watch, I usually jump before I buff with it. And I don't know exactly how it works, but it's definitely a percentage-based buff. If I had to guess, it's similar to like the Pestilent Mist spell from Dark Souls 3, which was garbage on basic enemies. Ooh, unfortunate, sir. That was a rough one too. But yeah, like the Pestilent Mist spell in Dark Souls 3, on basic enemies it was just absolute trash. But on something with a giant health pool, it did a lot of damage as a dot. And that's kind of what I consider this Black Flame Blade as, is like a Pestilent Mist buff on your weapon. On Dark Souls 3, I think Pestilent Mist did 1% damage per tick, and it ticked fairly quickly. Yeah, it's similar to what this does, because on bosses you can watch it, those dots melt, but you have to manage the FP. You've got to realize when your buff's not up, you've got to find time to get the buff on, and then you only have a few hits before it's gone. So it adds complexity to mostly melee combat, and I don't know, I just like it. It's very satisfying to me to use. It's probably my favorite go-to for big fights. Starting to get that first phase down here. You can tell I'm mowing through it pretty quickly. I'm wondering how many it's going to take me now to clear out this second phase. lucky there. Probably got pretty lucky to a lot of these. This is awesome. That's so cool right there. That freaking horse, man. I'm doing the same thing right now. I'm like all into it, and I'm thinking how badass this dude is, and then I see that horse, and it just gets funny. Oh man, I might do this. I might pull it out right here. I don't remember choking, like having a really disheartening choke in this fight, so this might be the one. Hell yeah, it is. I think that was just 5 attempts, but truthfully, even counting attempts is dumb and pointless because there's so many different factors that comes into play there. Namely, like how early you go into a fight and things like if they patched and nerfed it. I mean, there's an alternate timeline when this could have easily taken me 35 tries, so I don't feel too great about it, but also I feel pretty good about it. It always kind of sucks when you come straight out of a fight and your adrenaline's pumping and you're like, you know, you're just fired up, and then you have to watch something and pay attention to it. But when I popped back here and it was showing me the same area that it was showing me in the cutscene, I assumed that looks like I was proud of myself. I assumed I probably needed to pay attention to what it just showed me there. Yeah, I think I'm trying to figure out what that beam of light was pointing to. Something in that direction. But I haven't, this is actually where I am currently. I haven't done anything past this right here. So I have to go talk to all the quest givers. Maybe I talk to Blade. Actually, I think he's right here. But then I need to go talk to everybody that was involved in the quest line leading up to this. I need to go to the Divine Tower. I need to do so much stuff.
Ah, good. I was waiting for you. Oh, what a sick way to fight, eh? The glory of the clash is shared by Radahn.
Alright, that's it. It was awesome. Reminded me a little bit of the Gale fight, just the arena, how massive it is. And yeah, I'm very curious to know if there's other ways you can do it, or there's other events that can happen based on your choices beforehand, or with summons. Looks like there may be, you know, some things to discover about the fight. That'll be fun to figure out later.
Let's meet with the falling star bit and we'll go into battle. My only purpose is to fight for the curtains rising. On the final act.
Yeah, so I don't know where it is, but it's clearly in this direction that I'm plotting here. And I've got a lot of recorded footage, some with live commentary and some that I may have to put post commentary on. And I'm going to start condensing down, try to give you more of the highlights and then the main bosses and dungeons and that kind of thing. So, see you next time.